Look, man, your mentality is everything. The way you think about certain situations, the way you move when you face adversity, the way you move when you fail, the way you move when life is going good. That's what your mentality is. That's the way you think in every situation. You got to have the right mentality in everything you do. There's a difference between people with a good mentality and people, whose mentality isn't that great. Two people can be facing the same problem. Two people can be facing the same adversity. They could be going through the same things, and one of them's gonna quit. One of them's gonna give up because it got too hard, or one of them's gonna give up because it's not suiting them anymore, or one of them is gonna try to grow. One of them is gonna take the right steps in order to grow. One of them is gonna keep working hard until they grow. One of them is gonna keep going until they get out of that situation. But the difference between those two people is the mentality. One of them has a mentality to just keep working and keep grinding no matter what, and one of them has a weak mentality that's just like, all right, I failed, I'm gonna give up. All right, I lost, I'm gonna give up now. Like, no, bro, you gotta have a strong mentality, a not giving up mentality in everything you do. But a lot of people really don't know what a mentality is, and basically, it's just, like I said earlier, the way you think, the way you move when something may happen, the way you move when life going good or bad. It's the lens that you kind of see the world through. How do you see the world? How do you see certain situations? It's like your default response to different challenges, your default response to different adversities or different failures. Do you see these things as roadblocks? Do you see these things as, oh, it's getting too hard, I'm gonna give up, or oh, it's getting too hard, I'm gonna quit. There's no point in this. Now I keep failing. Why do I keep going? So do you see these challenges or these failures as roadblocks, or do you see them as opportunities to grow? Do you see a loss in like, okay, I can learn from this, I can do this, now I can take this step to grow and to become stronger? People with a good mentality and a strong mentality view these losses and view these failures or these challenges as opportunities, not roadblocks. You got to have a mentality that's so strong to where you'll never give up, you'll never quit, because your mentality is everything. But your mentality gets you through the hard times. Your mentality gets you through the times where you may fail a lot. We all know people who are not the most talented. We all know people who are not the strongest or the biggest or the best at what they do, but they're successful and they keep moving up and they keep growing because of their mentality. Like, yeah, your skills matter, your talents matter, your resources matter, what you have and what you don't have matters. But without the right mentality, bro, you'll never be able to use your talent in the best way possible. Without the right mentality, you'll never be able to showcase those skills. You'll never be able to showcase those resources because you're not right up here. I'm saying? You won't be able to use them. And I know this firsthand. As an athlete, bro, when you're in your head so much and you're not confident in yourself, you don't have the right mentality, you're not competitive, you just feel like it's hard, like I can't do this. Like, that's not the right mentality to have, bro. You don't got to be the best, you don't got to be the strongest, you don't got to be the fastest, but if you're right up here, if you have that mentality that nobody can beat you and nobody's better than you, nobody's going to beat you in anything you do, you're going to win a lot of the battles, bro. Like, a strong mentality helps you in so many ways, not even just physically, but mentally, spiritually, emotionally, like everything, bro. It helps you push through the setbacks. It helps you push through the hard times, the failures, because you know that you can't give up. A good mentality helps you stay focused under pressure. When it gets tough, when it gets the hardest, when you're in a pressure moment. Everybody says pressure makes diamonds, but you're not gonna be able to make that diamond if you don't have the right mentality. If you have a weak mentality, the pressure's gonna get to you. The failures or the setbacks are gonna get to you. But if you keep that strong and you keep that mentality in the right space, you're gonna be able to stay focused under pressure. No moment is gonna get too big for you. No setback's gonna be too big for you. No failure's gonna be too big for you. And you're also gonna be able to keep going when the motivation fades. Because I feel like I feel like mentality and discipline kind of go hand in hand. If you got the right discipline and you got the right mentality, bro, no matter if the motivation's there, no matter if the inspiration's there, you just gonna keep going and keep working no matter what it is. Even if you're inspired, even if you're not inspired, if you feel like doing it, if you don't feel like doing it, like, you're gonna keep going and you're gonna keep pushing and you're gonna keep working because your mentality is right. You got that nobody's gonna be better than me mentality. You got that strong mentality. You got that mentality that nobody can beat you in anything that you do. You know what I'm saying? So develop a mentality, bro, that is so strong that you're never gonna be able to be shaken. Develop a mentality that is so strong that no failure is going to get to you, no setbacks going to get to you, no amount of pressure is going to get to you, and you're just chill in those moments, bro. I mean, just like I use an example, bro. The underdogs who win, the people who are not the most talented who win, they win because they believe they can win. They win because their mentality is so strong and they think that nobody can beat them, and that's why they win. When you walk around like that and you move like that, bro, like you're literally unstoppable because you believe in yourself so much, you're confident in yourself so much, and in the abilities and in the talents that you have. Like develop that mentality, develop that underdog mentality. No matter if you're at the top, no matter if you're at the bottom, you're in the middle, like always have a chip on your shoulder in everything that you do. Always feel like you're the underdog in everything that you do, and make it known that nobody can beat you. Make it known that you're the best. Make it known that, yeah, it's going to be a competition, but I believe I'm better than you. I believe I'm going to beat you, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm saying that's the mentality to have, bro. And you can strengthen your mentality by controlling your self-talk, keeping things positive, keeping things confident, believing in yourself, surrounding yourself with the right people, surrounding yourself with growth-minded people, and simply just focusing on what you can control. Like focus on what you can control. I just talked about controlling your controllables. I think it was a couple videos ago, but just focus on what you can control. That helps build your mentality because you're not relying on anybody else. You're not worried about what anybody else got going on. You're just focusing on what you can do. You focusing on the things that you can control, and whatever happens after that just happens. You know what I'm saying? But the right mentality is everything, bro. So if you have not developed that strong mentality yet, man, I advise you, to go work on that. That's something I'm currently working on, especially, like I said, as an athlete, bro, playing baseball, the hardest sport, in the world. You got to have the right mentality in everything that you do, because when it's all said and done, bro, your mentality is either going to be your ceiling or it's going to be your launch pad. It's either going to make you elevate and take you higher, or it's going to stop you. So choose the one that takes you higher. Choose the one that continues to help you grow. Choose the launch pad. Let your mentality be your launch pad. Let your mentality take you places that your talent and your abilities and your skills may not be able to take you. But that'll be all for this video, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you like this video, go hit that sub button. On the way to 600 subs. Appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And I'll see y'all in the next one.